So Joe Manchin double-crossed the Republicans. Now looks like his own Democrats are going to double-cross him. And I want to get to the FBI story. Also, we have Senator Chuck Grassley from Iowa, ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. Senator Grassley, thank you, sir. As always, I just want to spend a moment on this permitting story where, you know, Manchin voted against the forces of good, double-crossed the Republicans. Now the Democrats are double-crossing him. We really could use permitting reform, open up the fossil spigots and get some decent infrastructure. Do you know where this permitting business is going to land? Can you help us out, sir?
Well, I think that Manchin has made the same mistake that I've made sometimes in my career. You tend to believe people, and if you don't have any leverage on them, they never deliver. I've been caught in that same position, and I think he is, and I think what he was hoping to get, he won't get, and he's going to be terribly embarrassed as a result of it. Now, let me tell you, I think that the Democrats, at least in the House, are undercutting Manchin with 70 people of the Natural Resources Committee signing a letter that Manchin's proposal shouldn't go ahead. So what we're going to try to do as Republicans, because we got to make sure that that we have something that's going to speed up this permitting process. Senator Capito of West Virginia, his colleague, is going to introduce a bill, and I hope she's got 34 co-sponsors so far, and I'm going to co-sponsor it. She's hoping to get all 50 Republican senators on board so that we have a position that was similar to what the Trump administration had, that you shouldn't take more than 2 years to make the bureaucrats make a decision that we're going to do something or not do something.
Yeah, Senator Joni Ernst was on the show last week, and she talked about the Capito bill. No red tape, no more spending. Just go back, one federal decision inside of 2 years, real simple, and we'd start getting, not just fossil fuels, although that's very, very important. We'd also be able to open the door towards bridges, roads, highways, the grid, and so forth and so on.
Can you believe it? There's a study in Colorado for a 13, or I think a 10-mile highway, or a very short highway, that's still, I think, in 13 years of not having a decision made.
Yeah.
That's how ridiculous some of this bureaucratic red tape is.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not surprised. Senator, can I just go to this other matter? More and more information comes out that the FBI really sabotaged the Hunter Biden laptop story. By the by, as you've probably read, some polls think if folks had known about the Hunter Biden laptop story, they would have voted differently in the presidential election, would not have voted for Joe Biden. You've been on this case. The FBI, I don't know if they lied to you, but they sure haven't been honest with you. And you and Ron Johnson have been very critical. I wonder what you can tell us to add to this story, because this is a killer story, and it turns out the FBI had that laptop thing a year before the election, we've now learned, and then they went and told Facebook and others, don't print it, it's all misinformation. Where's this going to lead, Senator Grassley?
Well, it better lead to the U.S. Attorney Weiss in Delaware that's investigating some of this. But this is a very important question that Johnson and I have. First of all, I made public the fact that Thibault started a Trump investigation based on just fuzzy newspaper advertising, and he shut down a case with possible criminal activity involving Hunter Biden. So we're trying to get the Justice Department and a letter to Weiss to say, does he know about the stuff that we have made public? If he knows about it, then he's investigating. We don't want an update on the investigation. We just want to know if he's got this information. If he doesn't have this information, he's not doing a complete investigation of Hunter Biden's activities, that some of it could be criminal.
Some of it can be criminal. Some of the FBI, there are some people who say the FBI has got to give us better oversight and maybe the whole structure of the FBI, particularly the upper echelons, have to be reformed. I mean, everyone wants to be with the G-men. I'm sure you do, I grew up that way. But they have just walked over the line, including this Tebow story, and stories out of there get worse and worse. If you take the Senate back, Senator Grassley, what will you do about the FBI?
Well, I'm going to be doing the same thing I'm doing as ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, with not quite the power that a chairman has. But we don't give up on any of this stuff until we follow the money where it takes us, the facts where it takes us. And you, Larry, and every other American citizen ought to have extraordinary confidence in the FBI. And I'm not talking about the FBI at the grassroots. I'm talking about the FBI in headquarters. And people don't have that they don't have that credibility with the American people. And we need Ray to put a concrete program forward in which he says how he's going to take this political bias out of the FBI, so you can have that confidence in the FBI.
Can you get Ray? I mean, I think you're dead right. I really love hearing you say it exactly the way you said it. Very bluntly, very forthrightly. That's the way you are, Chuck Grassley. That's the question. If you take, you're going to need to be chairman, I think, sir. But then he's going to have to make changes. Ray will have to make changes. Is that really what you're saying?
Well, he can't wait until this election. He needs to start this right now.
Right now. Before the midterms, right now?
Well, listen, whatever action he can take, if he's going to take that action, it can be taken in a way that doesn't influence the election or have anything about an election, and he shouldn't worry about any election. And that's kind of what's wrong with the FBI going into the Trump home in Florida and doing that. They hardly ever do anything shortly before an election, and that looks like as much a political move as it might be of whether or not Biden did something right or wrong.
Yes, sir. Amen to that. Senator Chuck Grassley, thank you for your time, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.